Neelam, at such a critical juncture, with the US set to draw down troops to about 9,800 by the end of the year, is the prisoner swap between the Taliban and the US really the step in the right direction?
Well, this has come as a surprise. It does raise many questions. One is, of course, that although the US President has announced that they will retain 9,800 troops in Afghanistan till the end of 2016, the agreement which would enable that is yet to be signed, since the runoff presidential election in Afghanistan is yet to take place. The present government of Afghanistan has protested strongly this exchange because it violates many things. It violates international agreements not to negotiate with terrorist groups for hostages. It also throws some kind of a spanner in the attempt of the government in Kabul itself to negotiate with the Taliban. Of course, it's always possible that this is the gesture made to the Taliban to allow the Western drawdown in Afghanistan to proceed smoothly. But that's not necessarily in the interests of Afghanistan. What is more, it does raise other questions. It raises the question of who is left in Guantanamo Bay now. That prison has to be kept open when the kitchen cabinet of Osama bin Laden has just been freed. It raises the question of whether this means a return to power in Kabul of the Taliban, as happened in the N90s.
So a good clue of where we might find some answers, of course, could be in President Obama's speech that he gave at West Point last week. His foreign policy has been discussed many times. But what were some of the new ideas that that caught your eye during his speech?
Well, I think the President's address at West Point was really an explanation of the policy that his administration has adopted. The President also tried to play down a kind of militarization that had crept into for Western foreign policies and postures by stating that, especially in the case of crises which have a regional dimension and do not affect American interests crucially, that the countries in the region, with support from others, would necessarily be at the core of dealing with those issues. I think that element would be welcome. In addition, there was the creation of a fund of $5 billion, which would be used to train. At this moment, it is being interpreted to mean that it would be used in the pursuit of American and Western objectives in Syria. Now, that is something that is going to generate a lot of interest and raise a lot of eyebrows. I think one of the meanings that will be drawn by interested parties would be that perhaps the United States has actually implicitly accepted Chinese propositions of a new kind of relationship between great powers, which means that the United States accepts implicitly, if you wish, a equal status for China.